Welcome back, guys. So, continuing our series of CodeVita Zone 1 2020 solutions. Today, we'll be solving diet plan, right? Now, before moving on to the problem description, let me give you a fair warning that this problem is really lengthy. It's sort of like a passage, but don't get lost. Why? Because in this passage, there are key points, there are hidden facts that will determine whether you will pass the private test cases or not, whether you will get a call or not. Okay, so stay sharp and stay focused. Okay. Arnold is planning to follow a diet suggested by his nutritionist. The nutritionist, okay, this part is really useless, don't read it. So his target is to have maximum protein, carbs, and fats in his diet without exceeding the prescribed limit. Okay. He also want to have as much as diverse food. Okay, this is really important, diverse food items as much as possible. That is, he does not want to have many units of one food item and zero of others. Multiple combination of units of food items are possible to achieve the target. Okay, multiple answers is possible. Mathematically speaking, diversity is more if the difference between the number of units of food item chosen the most and the number of unit of another food item chosen the least is as small as possible. By the way, why have they say that they want diverse food? The reason is very simple. Why? To make the question a little bit hard. Otherwise, what would most of us would have done, we would have just find that which of the food item has minimum protein, minimum carbs, and minimum fats. Okay, and after that we'll just keep on multiplying it till the time we get because since it's the smallest number, so the difference that its multiple will have with the with the maximum protein that we are supposed to have, it will be minimum. It's fairly obvious, right? So suppose you have this food item. Okay, you have to suppose to you have 40 protein, 40 carbs, and 40 fats. Okay, you have two food items, 10, 10, and 10. Okay, and you have another food item which has something like this. Okay, 12, 12, and 12. Okay, so what will most of us do? We'll just multiply this four times. Okay, but this is not good. This is not good solution right now. Why? Because this is not diversified. Our items will be like this 40. Even though with this we'll get all we want. We'll get a maximum protein, maximum carbs, and maximum fats. But according to the question, this is not a perfect answer. Why? Because the solution is not diversified. Okay, so what this simply mean is that three, okay, this sorry, one and zero is better than 300. That is what they want. That is only what they want to say. Okay, why? Because the maximum unit is one and the minimum unit is zero. Okay, so sorry, the maximum, the difference between the maximum and the minimum is one. That is much better than 3 minus 0, that is 3. So that is why we will always prefer the answer, always prefer this answer. Okay, always remember this. That is what they mean by diversified, and this is really important. Okay, okay, done with this. To solve this problem, he uses maximum possible number of units of all the items so that the total amount of protein, carbs, and fats is not more than the prescribed limit. Okay. For example, if total nutrition required is 100p, 130c, and 130f, uh, and two different food items, that are item A and item B, have the following nutrition, they have given us a great example. Let's look at it. Okay. 10p, 20c, and 30f, item 1. Item A, item B is 20p, 30c, and 20f. And we are supposed to get 100p, 130c, and 130f. Then he can actually just choose 2 units of all of these, and after that sorry, he can use just 2 units of all of these, and but if he use if he get even a single unit more of any of these items, then he will exceed the prescribed limit. So that is why we are only supposed to choose 2 units. Okay, next he chooses the food items to fulfill the remaining nutrients. Okay, now he is supposed to just, the main logic is to minimize sorry, to get the maximum nutrients we can get without exceeding those limits. Okay, that is what we are supposed to do only, and all of this is pretty useless. Let's just move on to the test cases. I think we'll understand better there. Okay, our constraints: number of food item less than 10. Thank you. Maximum amount of nutrients 1500. Okay, small. And after that we have PCF. Input will be firstly, will be given the limits, the maximum amount we are supposed to have, and after that second line contains the nutrient composition of different foods. Okay, done. And they're separated by pipe. Okay, now we are supposed to print the shortfall of each nutrient type. Shortfall, what does it mean by shortfall? That suppose if we are supposed to get 100 100 and 100 and sorry 100, what I'm doing, 100. Okay, and I have only one item which will give me 90, 90, and 90. So what will be a shortfall? 10, 10, and 10. So we are just supposed to print the shortfall, which means how much how much nutrients am I not able to not able to get, basically. Okay, so this is like my example one. I have firstly this my limits, and after that I have my two components. Okay, so I have my two components, and after that what am I doing is basically what they have done is they have taken 2 units of this and 3 units of this, and after that you see the diversification is really great. Only that's 3 minus 2, right? 3 minus 2. So so we are really diversified. Sorry, and this is the best combination that can reduce the shortfall. So after, the shortfall is 20p, 0c, and 10f. Why? Because you just multiply this by 3 and this by 2, and after that you subtract this with this, and you will get a 20, 0, 10. Okay. However, since the they have also shown us another example, another great example. So, since this in this we have taken 2 units of this and 3 units of this, right? But they have shown us another example in which they have taken 3 units of this and 2 units of this. But in this example, what is the shortfall? Our shortfall is 30p, 10c, and 0f. Okay, this is the shortfall right now. But in the previous case, our shortfall was 20p, 0c, and 10f. Okay, right. But let's see, the total shortfall in this is what? It is 40, and in this it is 30. So it's quite basic that we will choose this one, right? So this is what we are basically supposed to do. Now I know this question might seem a little bit complicated, but I'll be solving this question in a few basic steps. Okay, let me just write them. I'll take input as usual, right? And after that, input is really hard here. Sorry, a little bit complicated. Okay, and after that, I'll do a little bit of rearranging of elements. Okay, and after that, I'll do my calculation. And after that, what will I do? Once I've done my calculation, I'll just print my data output. So in these basic steps, in these basic in these basic 4 steps, I will solve my data. Okay. By the way, with input, there's one more step. I think it's extraction. I have to extract all these units because they will be in the form of 0p and with PCF. Okay. So I think that will be a little bit complicated. Let's just start. Okay. Sorry. So firstly, let me have my limits. My limits is in a string format, right? So I'll just take string. I won't typecast it into anything. Okay. Now I have my limits, and after that, I'm just creating 3 lists, P, C, and F, 3 lists. Each will contain the total, the limits. Sorry, each will contain what? Each will contain what? The protein, carbohydrates, and fat of each of the food item. Okay. By the way, I need to take another input, and that is my nutrient. What do I mean nutrient? All the values. So list map, sorry, not map. Why do I map? Input and dot split. Okay, so I'll just tell you what I'm doing. Just give me a second, right? Let me just show you the input format. So I've just taken this value as a string completely, right? And after that, I've taken all of these what I'm doing is basically I'll take all of these this as a string. Okay, I'll take all of this as a string. And after that, what I'm doing is I'm just splitting them on the basis of this. So basically, I'll have 3 elements in my list. First element is this, second element is this, and third element is this. Okay, so I don't think it's that hard. Okay, so I think that was just input part. This is my extraction part. So I just taken my input, really simple. But now comes the a little bit of complicated part. Okay, my extraction. Why am I doing? Sorry, what do I mean by extraction? Basically, I mean that all of these are in the form of strings. So 4p, 9c, 2f. So I think you might have to do a little bit of string manipulation or something like that in order to get the integer value, the numerical value. Okay. So how am I going to do it? Limit p, limit c. In this, I will store what? In this, I will store that the maximum amount that I'm supposed to have. Okay. So initially, I'll just mark all of them as 0 or not. Does it matter? Okay. So let's start. For uh, j in limit, I'm just going through that limit part. Sorry, in my the string, the this. I'm just going through this part, and my approach is very simple. What I'm doing is I'm checking if it's a space, ignore it. If it's a p, then if it's a p, then all the number that you have calculated till now, enter it in limit p. Otherwise, whatever the value is, you just add it to a string. Okay. So I'll start from here. Okay, I'll start from here, and what I'll do is, if I have a simple method, by the way, you can just use it. I'm just using this because this is a very basic, and most of you will get it. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm simply going forward from my starting point. I'll have a string with 130 values stored. Okay, and then I'll come and check if this character is p. If it is a character, then till now I have a value stored as 130 in my string, right? Then I'll just typecast that 130 into int, and I'll store it in my limit p. Really, it's that simple. So what I'm doing is, if G is a space, then what do? You don't do anything. You are sorry, you just move on. Okay. Else, else if what I'm supposed to do, if my J is equal to P. Actually, it's capital P, right? If sorry, if this is a P, then I'll do just one thing. I'll limit P equals to By the way, I think I need to have a string in which I'll store it, so I'll just name it as name, and after that I'll just mark my num as empty. Since I've just gotten my value of my protein, I'll just mark it as empty again. Okay. By the way, this is just one iteration part. I think you can, I'm just using loop for each time sakes. Okay. So else if, I think all of you are getting what I'm trying to say, right? I'm just doing a little bit of string manipulation in order to get in order to extract my inputs. So same goes for C, and same goes for F, and limit C, limit F, limit P, limit C, and limit F. They just mean that the highest, the maximum value that we are supposed to, the gain. Sorry, the maximum value that we are supposed to get. Okay. Else, this is the really the most important condition. Else, if the character that you have encountered is neither a space, neither a P, neither a C, neither a F, so just just do one thing, just num plus equals to j, num plus equals to j, right? Okay, 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 done with this. After this I'll have my, after this I'll have my what after this I'll have my limits. Okay, so I'll just do the same trick. I'll do the same thing for my for extracting all the PC and F from my nutrients, but this time I'll just have to use an extra loop for I in nutrient. Okay, num will be empty again, num will be empty, right? Let me just check, num will be empty. Okay, 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 and I'll just since I hate writing redundant code, I'll just copy this part and I'll just add it here. Okay, 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 done with this. By the way, I just need to change this limit to cur, which means current P, current C, and current F. Okay, okay, done. There should be indentation. Done, done, done. And after this, what I'll do is, after this, I'll just append all of these values in a list that I've named as data. In my data, I'll append all of these value data. Why I'm just making it a 2D list, a matrix. Why? Just so my traversing becomes a little bit of easier. Okay, so I think I'm done with this part. Cur P, cur C, cur F. Okay, and after that, I'll just create these values. I'll just create I'll just initialize them with a 0 value, or that it doesn't matter much. I'm just doing it for uh, safety sakes. Okay, so I have my values. After that, I'll just tell you what I'm doing is, since all of these values are stored in nutrients. Okay, I have in nutrients I have 3 values stored: first string, second string, and third string. Okay, so I'm just iterating through each string, and I'm doing following the same procedure that I did for this one. So extracting my values, and after that I'm just what after this I'm just solving sorry, storing them in a graph, in a matrix. Okay, so that will be data. So I'm done with my extraction part. Okay, great. So now comes a really important part, that is rearranging. So how will I rearrange it? I am rearranging, I'm basically sorting them. By the way, just so you know, the constraints are really small, so don't need to worry about the complexity. Okay, so I'm just sorting it on the basis of their sum. What do I mean? What do I mean by the basis of their sum? I mean that if I have two values, 1, 2, and 3, and another value, let's say 1, 1, and 9. Okay, if I do a normal sorter, then I think that they'll just put this value on the top, on above. Okay, so I'm just I'm just rearranging them on the basis of their sum. So the sum of this is 11, and the sum of this is what, 6. So basically this value, by the way, I'm just I'm just doing it in a reverse order. Reverse is equal to true. uh, I'll just tell you in 1 second what I'm doing and why I'm doing. I'm just ordering this on the basis of their sum. Why? Because I need to get the most I can. Okay, and why I'm doing it in the reverse order? It's very simple. Suppose you have a number 7 and I give you two values. I give you I give you 2 and I give you 7. Okay, and I say you use these values and make this 7 0. Okay, now what will as a first thought, what we'll do, if the array is sorted, okay, it's sorted in a what, increasing order. Okay, so what will you do is, you'll the first thing that you might do is, suppose the question here is related to diversification. Okay, so what we'll do is, you'll just do 7 minus 2. You'll first take this element, right? You'll do, it will give you 5. Okay, and after, sorry, it will give you 5. Sorry, it will give you 5. Okay, and after that, since you want diverse answer, okay, so you'll just move on to 7. But after this, you see that you can't subtract 7 from 5. So what you do, you just remove the possibility of 7, and you again move on to 2, and then you again move on to 2. But this way you get an answer of 1, right? But suppose what would have happened if I just uh, remove the largest value once. If I've just removed the 7 minus 7, then I would have gotten an answer of 0, which is much better than what I did previously. What I did previously will give me an answer of 1, but since I removed the largest value 1, sorry, if I remove the largest value once, then only a small values will left, and that I can that I can remove later on. So that is why I'm just doing it in a reverse order. I hope you've gotten what my point and why I'm rearranging it at this point. Okay, so then with my rearranging, I'm using the sum of the row as a basis of sorting, and in order to get the best I can, and I'm doing reverse equals to true y. I just want to remove the largest value 1 firstly, and after that smallest value y, because if I start removing the smaller value, then I can't remove the larger value. But if I remove the larger value, then there is a possibility that I can remove the smaller value also. Okay, so great. Now let's move on to the calculation part. So calculation is really important. So for calculation, the first thing that I'll do is I'll create a list of usable. Okay, so usable will show me that which food item can I use now or not. Because suppose I'll just give you another example. Suppose you have this 100p, 100c, and 100f. Okay, and you have a food as like this 100, 101, and 1 and 1. So I don't think that I can use this element, right? Why? Because if I use this element, then I can't subtract the my maximum limit of protein as 100, right? And this food is giving me a maximum. Sorry, this food is giving me a protein of 101. So I can't take this value. So what I'll do is I'll just mark this as a sorry. I'll just mark it as false. That no, I can't use this. I can only use those elements which are marked as true. Okay. So initially what I'll do is initially I'll mark all of the foods as true. Why? Because it will denote me that I can use all these food. Don't worry, I'll later change it. So for I in range of what len of data, it means that the number of food items that I have, all of those are usable right now. So let's move. I'll create a infinite loop. I'll just break out of it. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, and I'll while true, done. Great. Okay. So now let's start our real code. For I in for I in the range of len of data. What I'm going to do is since I have suppose I have three food items 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I'll just firstly come. These are sorted in their sorry reverse order. Okay, so firstly I'll remove the sorry. So firstly I'll take the nutrients of this, and then I'll take the nutrients of this, and then I'll take the nutrients of this. After that I'll come back again to 1. Since my I am using an infinite loop, then I'll take the values of this if it is possible. I'll check the condition if it is possible to take or not, and then I'll take the value of this, and then I'll take the value of this. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do. So for I in range of len of data, this loop will run always, till the total number of food items that I have, only those times. Okay. So now comes my real logic. If usable I, which means if this food is usable or not. If it is usable, then check what? Then check if the limit that I have, if the limit of protein that I have minus data of I, comma 0, because the zeroth index will always be a protein. Okay, and I means that this food item, it's a 2D matrix, so I will give me the food item and 0 will give me protein. So if limit p minus data I comma 0, if it is greater than equal to 0, then it's good. If it's false, then I'll move on to the else condition. Okay, that's why I'm using and condition. If even single of these conditions is false, then I'll just break out of it, and I'll just do the same thing again and again. I'll do the same things for my carbs, my fats. Okay, I'll just take I'll just change my condition limit c minus data I 1, because the first will denote what? It will denote carbs, and the second will denote fats. Okay, so this and this. Okay, so I hope you're getting what I'm trying to do is I'm just checking if that if I'm exceeding a limit, then don't do anything, and just sorry, I'm just checking if I'm exceeding a limit or not. If I'm not exceeding a limit, then what I'll do, if I'm not exceeding a limit, then I'll just remove the value from my limit. Why take another variable? Why complicate the question? I'll just remove that from my limit, and this way I'll just do the same thing for all of this data I and 1, and this is only possible if none of these values are exceeding my limit. Okay, so limit of what? Limit of my f, it was PCF, right? PCF minus equals to data. By the way, I think you know that protein, carbs, and fats, these are the most essential nutrients in our body that our body require, right? Just a fun fact. Okay. Otherwise what I'll do is, otherwise if if I fail any of these conditions, then what I'll do is, I'll just mark that particular food, I'll just mark that particular food as false, that no, you should not use these, you should not use this food again. Why? Because it's exceeding the limit. Okay, so when I'll come back again to this, instead of checking all these conditions, I'll just check usable, and I'll just return. Okay, so done. Else. Okay. But there's no way of stopping this, right? So for that, I'll okay, I'll just use a flag variable. I'll use a flag. Okay, so this flag will denote, I'll till when sorry till when I'll iterate till the time I'm able to, till the time I'm able to remove the new till the time I have even a single elements whose nutrients are less than the limit. Till that time I'll what till that time I'll what sorry till that time I'll iterate. Okay, I'll make my flag false here. Flag false. If my flag is true, it means that no more items are left that can be removed. Okay, but as soon as I mark my flag false, it means that no, there are some items left that can be removed. Okay, so when every time I just iterate through this complete loop, I'll check if my flag is true. If my flag is true, which means no more item are left that can be removed, just break out of it. Okay, so done with my complete coding. I'll now just print my answer. Print limit of p, limit of c, and limit of. Okay, so now let's try to run this code. Okay, let me just firstly copy this test cases. Okay, all right, so the answer is supposed to be 250, and let's see what we get. 0 comma 0 comma 0. I think I've made some sort of mistake. Let me just print my data and see what I'm getting. Okay, so print my data. Okay, run code. And all right, so I think all of these are having the value of the limits, so I might have made a mistake. Okay, let me see. All right, sorry. So for j limit, it should be for j in I. Okay, I was just copying the values limit again and again, so that is why. Now let's try to run our code again. Okay, just done. Run code. And sorry, 2 for 50, and that was their answer, right? 2, 4, and 50. Great. Do we have another test case? Okay, that was our example one. Okay, let's look at another example. Let me just change this format a little bit. Okay, so 100p, 130c, and 130f. Output is supposed to be 20010. Okay, let's run our code. Okay, 20010. So this code works perfectly, and this was the solution for diet plan. We were able to solve this only in few steps: input, extraction, rearranging, calculation, and our output, right? So this question was not very tough, not very lengthy, but it was a little bit confusing, and I really don't think that you should have fallen into that trap, right? Because if you just read it with a little bit of focus, you can easily solve this. So I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, then like, share, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching this video. And don't worry, we will be uploading multiple solutions, other solution of this code beta program also. So just stay tuned, right? And thank you.